So by now we should have all these two-dimensional drawings that were made from our clipping plane under the clipping plane layer, and the drawings come out nice and black. Okay. And as you were making these 2Ds, especially when it comes to the sections, you probably kept that section drawing and that make 2D next to it so you can clean up the section, so you can know which lines to delete and which lines not to delete. I think that's usually helpful. I found it very helpful for me. So this is right now in real life 24 by 24, but that's not going to fit on a piece of paper. On a piece of paper like this, right? So what we're going to try to do is the drawing. We're going to take that. Hello. We're going to take that floor plan and put it on an 11 by 17 sheet of paper. And we're going to give it its title, call it floor plan. Okay. I don't know if you guys, some of you may not see this, so let me move it up to the top a little bit. Okay. And it's going to have the thing that says 1/4 inch equals a foot. Okay. We're going to go with pencil, and markers to actually darken the walls after we print. And everything that we're cutting through, so if this is a floor plan, we're cutting through it, we're just going to go ahead and whatever we're cutting through becomes dark, and whatever we're looking down on becomes a lighter line because we're not cutting through it, right? So if you're not cutting through something, it becomes a light line. If you're cutting through it, then yes, it will be a dark line. So this is what our floor plan setup should look like. Your floor plan design might look different from this, right? And let me show you really quickly what a section might look like. A section might look like this, all right? So this section right here, how do you rotate this thing? There we go. Okay, so an 11 by 17 section, on an 11 by 17, we'll have an east-west title. Why is this drawing titled east-west section? Right? Because the clipping plane is cutting east-west. Because remember, this is the wall art, and this is the west-facing window. And they're perfectly aligned, right? All right. So these are just a couple of examples of what we're going to try to do with those drawings. And of course, you always have the scale down here. And that's going to be on a, oh, come on an 11 by 17. What about the perspective? Let's take a perspective drawing example. Okay. So the perspective example, again, it says perspective, but it's not to scale. We don't scale a perspective. You can't measure this line. You can't measure that line. They're foreshortened. They're distorted. Okay? But they're truer to the eye, of course. Dark lines around the perimeter. Dark lines around the major carving, the primary carving. Thinner lines on the inside. And all of a sudden it pops out, right? You can read it a little bit better. So again, that's on an 11 by 17. So this drawing right here is, which one? It's the first one up there on the whiteboard, right? Okay. Oh, I made a mistake up there, didn't I? I said, I put a scale next to perspective. Hold on. Okay, so we have an example of what the stuff looks like that we're going to try to make. So the next question for us is, how do we determine how to scale this thing? All right, I go to top view, and I can go ahead and type scale in the command line and press enter and select object to scale. I select my object to scale. Press enter when done. Enter. Original point of origin to scale. Okay, over here, make sure your endpoint is all right. Okay, and first reference is from here because this is the original scale. Or start from the source to the original, and then it's scaling it up. So do you think it's going to get scaled up, or do you think it's going to get scaled down?
Up.
You're going to scale it up? Really? Okay, let's scale it up. This is scaling it up, right? What I'm doing? Okay, here we go. So next thing, what kind of sheet of paper is this going to sit on? What size? We said 11 by 17. I'm going to draw an 11 by 17 sheet of paper. I'm going to go to my rectangle. Okay. And I'm going to go at 17, comma 11. Press enter. Where is it? Right here. Can you kind of see it? All right, so let me move my sheet of paper onto my drawing.
It's perfect.
It fits perfectly. See that? See that? That's a little ant hole. All right. It doesn't fit, right? And even the 1-to-1 drawing doesn't fit, does it? On an 11 by 17 piece of paper, right? So we need to scale it down, not up. Guys, let me check to make sure that I did the right size paper. Okay, I'm going to do an analyze distance. Yeah, I got it right. Let's see in the other distance. Yeah. So it's the right sheet of paper. It doesn't fit, so I need to scale it down. I need to scale my drawing down. Right? So I'm going to do a bunch of Control Z's here. All right, here we go. If you want to scale something up, you multiply it by a whole figure. So if I want something to be 3 times as big, then I say times 3, right? If I want to make something 2 times as big, I say make it times 2. If I want to make it 5 times as big, I say make it times 5. What if I wanted something smaller than the actual thing? I'm going to multiply by a fraction then. It's going to be exactly. So you reverse. You go to the other side. You do a decimal. So let's figure out what those decimals are. Okay. We'll do this in a next video.